Greetings, kindred friend. Try to quiet your heart and recall the moment you lie down in bed tonight. In the silence of your home in a distant land, when the lights are out, your body may be exhausted after a long day of worries, but your mind seems to have never received a ceasefire order. You lie there, eyes closed, but the theater of thought is still bustling with films of the past, uneasy forebodings about health, or unresolved anxieties about children and grandchildren. Regrettably, there is a naked truth that the modern world has long forgotten to remind you. Most of us close our eyes every night only to sleep, but our minds are never truly at rest. There is a profound difference between an ordinary person and enlightened practitioners. Zen masters never fall into sleep unconsciously. To them, sleep is not just a biological need, but an act of high mindfulness. They understand that the fragile moment just before you drift into deep sleep is the most precious spiritual window, the time when the consciousness is most easily reprogrammed to heal or to continue sowing seeds of suffering. The wisdom of the Buddha teaches that the state of the mind at the threshold of dreams will silently shape everything, from the quality of sleep and what you see in dreams, to the abundant life force or the weary exhaustion you feel when waking tomorrow morning. It is the seed you choose to sow into the soil of the subconscious every night. My friend, ask your heart a reflective question. What if the very way you fall asleep every night is silently shaping your own suffering or healing tomorrow? Tonight, I do not bring you distant philosophies. I want to return to you a nearly forgotten secret, a minimalist ritual lasting exactly 3 minutes. Yet these sacred 3 minutes have the power to recalibrate your entire nervous system and return you to your inherent pure being. Let us explore the journey back to the harbor of peace right now. The silent law of recovery. Try to quietly contemplate a great law of nature, the rhythm of a garden late at night. When the sunlight fades, plants do not stop functioning. On the contrary, in absolute silence, life essence flows silently and more strongly to mend damaged branches and prepare for a new sprouting tomorrow. Your body is exactly such a sacred garden. When you lie down, close your eyes, and drift into deep sleep, that is when an internal physician begins their miraculous work. This is the time when cells are regenerated most brilliantly. The nervous system executes a reorder command to sweep away neuronal toxins accumulated after a long day, and the mind begins to purify the muddled flows of emotion. Neuroscience calls this the dominant state of the parasympathetic nervous system. But there is a prerequisite that few notice. The body only performs its deepest healing work when your mind completely stops resisting. Kindred friend, honestly look deep into your consciousness at this moment. Have you been going to sleep in a state of silent war? Even though your physical body is lying peacefully on a warm mattress overseas, your shoulders are still tensed to carry regrets about a missed word in the past. Your abdomen is still constricted with uneasy forebodings about health and old age, and your jaw is still slightly clenched from unresolved grievances with loved ones. It is these invisible resistances that send a continuous red alert signal to the brain. When your mind is still fighting, the nervous system mistakenly believes you are in danger. It forces the nerves to stay awake all night to stand guard, consuming the entire reserve of energy on defense instead of recovery. Consequently, your sleep is merely a temporary break for the eyes, never touching the deep layers of ontological rebirth. Etch this affirmation as an anchor for your soul. Your body cannot fully heal while your mind is still fighting. Your body cannot fully heal while your mind is still fighting. Deep forest monks from thousands of years ago thoroughly understood this law. They never used willpower to force the body to get well, nor did they crave a perfect sleep. The secret of the masters lies in the art of permission. They understood that healing is a natural grace that will automatically flow the moment we choose to open our spiritual palms. Instead of trying to do something to heal, they simply performed rituals to stop obstructing that healing process. Tonight, I invite you to shed the role of a weary manager who always wants to arrange everything in life. Become a compassionate observer, courageously letting go of the sword of control to return to the refuge of primordial silence. For when your mind truly stops fighting, the entire universe will conspire to care for and recover you in the most miraculous way. That journey of liberation begins by learning how to decisively close the door on today. Let us discover the first secret of the monks right now. The first secret, the ritual of closing the old day. Imagine yourself as a brave traveler who has just walked through a burning desert all day long. When dusk falls and you find a peaceful inn to stop, what is the first thing you do? Surely you would brush the road dust off your coat, remove the heavy backpack from your shoulders, and wash away all weariness with cool water. No one brings those dust-covered clothes and that heavy backpack into bed. Yet, kindred friend, in spiritual life, most of us are doing the opposite. We bring the entire backpack of today into our dreams. One of the greatest secrets preserved by Zen masters is the art of closing the old day. Monks understand that each day is a small lifetime, and when night falls, that lifetime must be fully completed. They absolutely do not allow the aftershocks of the daytime to seep into the sacred space of the unconscious. We are often trapped in a harmful psychological habit. We lie down but busily repair the past. We chew over a morning mistake, regret a missed opportunity, or toss and turn over an incomplete word with a loved one. Unintentionally, you are forcing your nervous system to work overtime in the middle of the night. And as long as the mind shift has not ended, the healing work of the cells cannot yet begin. Tonight, I invite you to take the first step in the 3-minute ritual, an act of liberation for your own soul. As soon as you are settled, spend the first minute performing internal renunciation. Gently whisper a powerful mantra within your mind. This day is truly finished. This day is finished. Feel the weight of this affirmation. Please do not try to analyze whether today was good or bad. Do not seek to fix what was imperfect. And absolutely do not carry any regret. Let today be what it is, a book chapter that has been officially stamped and placed on the shelf of time. Neuroscience has proven a miraculous shift the moment you declare this decisive closing. When the mind receives the completed command, the brain immediately stops sending threat signals. Levels of the stress hormone cortisol begin to recede rapidly, like an ebbing tide, making way for the flow of peace of mind to spread through your veins. This is the order for the nervous system to switch from a combat state to a rest state. Empathize with the liberating truth that monks always teach. Healing never sprouts from holding on. It only truly begins the moment you courageously let go. Healing begins the moment you stop holding on. Tonight, allow yourself to retire earlier than sleep. Let all the stories of the world stop outside your bedroom threshold. You do not need to be a perfect father or mother. You do not need to be a patient who is fighting, nor do you need to arrange the future right now. When you dare to declare that today has ended, you are returning to your body the vastest and cleanest space for the miracle of rebirth to operate. Let your breath lighten, for the burden of the old day has truly been set down. The second secret, returning to the body. After we have decisively closed the door of the old day with the command, "This day is truly finished," I invite you to enter the second minute of the ritual, the greatest return of a human life, returning to take refuge in the temple of your own physical body. Try to contemplate the image of a sailboat after many days of weathering the vast ocean, facing the fierce waves of livelihood and the agitating winds of worldly gossip. To truly rest and be repaired, that boat must drop anchor to stand still in a calm harbor. Kindred friend, your body is that harbor, and your attention is the steadiest anchor. There is a profound truth we have unintentionally forgotten. Your mind is a homeless traveler, always wandering in the past or getting lost in the future. But your body is different. The body is a loyal citizen of the present. Your body has never left this moment for even a split second. When you hurt, it is the pain of the present. When you inhale, it is the breath of the present. Therefore, when you bring your attention back to the body, you are performing a sacred repatriation for your soul. In this second minute, Monks practice a minimalist but powerful art. They do not think about the body, they actually become the body. I invite you to gently release all will to control or judge. Begin to feel the weight of your shoulders slowly sinking into the support of the mattress. Notice the gentle contact between your skin and the fabric. Feel the warmth radiating from the palm of your hand placed on your abdomen. Do not try to relax according to any rigid command. Simply identify, these are the feet that have carried me through a life in a distant land. This is the heart that is still diligently beating rhythmically for me. Why do monks choose to feel the body instead of reading long sutras before sleep? Because they thoroughly understand the biological mechanism of liberation. The moment you shift attention from thinking to sensation, a miracle takes place inside the brain, the analytical cortex. The place busy arranging life will officially receive the order to rest. When you no longer use energy to think, life essence will automatically flow to nourish. At that moment, your nervous system will perform a spectacular shift from a state of high vigilance to a state of total entrustment. Neuroscience calls this the activation of the parasympathetic nervous system, also known as deep healing mode. Your heart rate slows down. Your breath automatically becomes deep and gentle without a bit of effort. You are no longer in the posture of one struggling against life, but become an entity being soothed and protected by the universe. Etch this sacred revelation into your soul. Your body inherently understands perfectly how to recover itself. It is only patiently waiting for your mind to stop interfering and imposing upon it. The body knows how to heal when the mind stops interfering. Tonight, allow yourself to be a silent observer, no longer fixing or dissecting your body. Let your awareness cover your entire body like cool water, soaking deep into every muscle fiber and blood vessel. When you and the body merge as one in mindfulness, you will see that anxiety loses its foothold to exist. You are standing right at the center of peace, where time and outside agitations never reach. Take a very soft breath. Let the warmth of this presence guide you into the final secret, the secret of sacred dissolution. The third secret, entering sleep in absolute safety. Contemplate the rhythm of a cloud at the end of the day as it slowly dissolves into the vast space of sunset. That cloud is not in a hurry, nor does it resist. It simply follows the flow of heaven and earth to return to the most primordial essence of the void. Kindred friend, the third secret I want to give you tonight is the art of entering instead of collapsing. In everyday language, we often use the phrase falling asleep. For most of us, sleep is like a physical exhaustion. When we no longer have the strength to fight weariness, we collapse and let ourselves sink into darkness aimlessly. However, Zen masters never fall into sleep like that. To them, the moment of closing the eyelids is a solemn ritual of awareness. They do not let themselves be swallowed by sleep in a daze, but they actively enter it with the most peaceful and clear mindset. Why is mindfulness at this very moment so important? Because the rhythm of the nervous system does not stop when you just close your eyes. If you go to sleep with a heart still on combat duty, the brain will carry that state of insecurity deep into the subconscious. You may be asleep, but the sentry inside stays awake all night to watch over the ghosts of anxiety. In the final minute of the 3-minute ritual, the monks perform a sacred act of entrustment. Instead of trying to sleep an act that inherently only increases stress, they gently set down an intention, a permit for their own being. I invite you to do that right now. In the absolute silence of your room in a foreign land, whisper the purest, soothing words in your consciousness. I allow this physical body to completely rest. I allow this mind to be truly silent. I allow the body to rest. I allow the mind to be still. Please listen carefully. You do not force sleep to come. You are only creating a safe atmosphere for sleep to find its way to perch on your eyelids. When you let go of the will to control, you are sending a supreme signal to the nervous system that everything is done. The danger has passed. Now is the time of grace. The moment you sincerely allow yourself to rest, a miraculous self-recovery mechanism will be activated. Only when the nervous system feels completely protected does the brain dare to fling the door open to perform the most subtle repair works, filtering neuronal waste, patching fractures in the bones, and recalibrating the flow of life essence. Sleep now is no longer a weary escape, but becomes a harbor of brilliant rebirth. Etch this profound truth into your soul. Sleep only truly becomes a healing medicine when it is initiated in absolute peace and trust. Sleep becomes healing when it begins in peace. Tonight, please stop being a hunter of sleep. Be a silent branch of flowers in the quiet night, leisurely receiving the mist of silence. When you no longer pursue, peace will automatically envelop you. Let the affirmation, "I allow myself to rest," be the final key, opening the kingdom of recovery, taking you deep into the land of kind dreams, where every breath is soaked in the love and protection of the universe. The 3-minute ritual, the bridge of rebirth before sleeping. Hello, kindred friend. We have understood the profound philosophy of letting go from the monks. Now, as the candle of today has gradually burned out and darkness has completely covered the silent space abroad, I invite you to perform the most important step, transforming that wisdom into your own breath and sensation. Do not consider this a troublesome exercise. See the next 3 minutes as a precious spiritual ritual you gift to your weary being after a lifetime of hardship. Lie very still. Let the entire body be supported by the compassion of the mattress, and begin with me to go through the 3 steps of liberation. Minute 1. The ritual of closing the old day. Powering off the consciousness. Quietly contemplate all that has happened from the moment you opened your eyes this morning until this moment. The conversations, the things done, and the unresolved anxieties. Visualize them like chapters of a book that have been finished. In this first minute, I invite you to gently whisper within your mind the liberating mantra, "Today is truly complete." Continue to tell your soul, "I let go of everything. I return all burdens to time." Please listen carefully. This is a definitive command sent to an overloaded brain. When you declare today has closed, you are pressing the power off button for the background anxiety programs inside. Do not repair. Do not regret. Do not calculate for tomorrow anymore. Let all the stories of the world stop right at the threshold of your bedroom. At this moment, the burden of the breadwinner, the burden of the patient, or the burden of the worrier, all dissolve into the void. Minute 2. The ritual of returning to harbor, the anchor of the body. When the mind has stopped chattering about the past and future, I invite you to bring your attention back to take refuge in your island of self, your body. Do not think about the body, actually feel it. Begin to identify the rising and falling rhythm of the breath in the chest and abdomen. Feel the cool air entering and the gentle warmth leaving. Spread your awareness down to your hands, feet, and feel the weight of your entire body sinking deep into the mattress. Empathize with the support of the bed, as if Mother Earth is reaching out her arms to embrace you. You know, the body is the most authentic present. When you are fully present with physical sensations, the brain will identify an absolute safety signal. The muscles silently tensed in the jaw, shoulders, and abdomen will begin to receive the order to melt. Let your attention be as gentle as a morning mist, nourishing and soothing aching areas, telling each cell, "I am here now." You are allowed to be peaceful. Minute 3. The ritual of entrustment, dissolving in silence. This is the final step, the pinnacle of the art of non-action. In this minute, I invite you to take the most courageous step, give up even the effort of wanting to rest. Do not try to sleep, nor crave any clear sign of healing. Be like a flower closing its petals in the quiet night, leisurely receiving the vast darkness without resistance. At this moment, you shed even the role of someone practicing mindfulness. You have no purpose, no form, no direction. You are simply a pure presence dissolving into the arms of nature. Etch this sacred affirmation to take you into sleep. Tonight, you are not forcing sleep. You are simply allowing the greatest healing to be revealed. You are not forcing sleep. You are allowing healing. When the controlling ego completely retreats, the door to the kingdom of recovery will automatically fling open most brilliantly. Let the breath go on its own. Let the heart beat on its own. And let your being leisurely return to the source of peace amidst this vast void. Everything is done. Tonight, the entire universe will take care of this life for you. Just dissolve into that sacred silence under the protection of eternal love and wisdom. Sleep as a mirror of consciousness. Dear friend, try to stop for a moment and contemplate a paradoxical truth that we have long misunderstood. Most of us go to sleep with an expectation that, let sleep come and heal me. We consider sleep a powerful physician and ourselves merely a patient waiting for a blessing. We mistakenly think that just by closing our eyes for enough hours, the body will automatically be recovered. However, under the profound wisdom of the Buddha and the affirmation of modern neuroscience, the truth is much deeper than that. I want to give you a perspective capable of shifting your entire internal reality. Actually, it is not sleep itself that heals you, but the state of consciousness that you bring into sleep that decides its recovery power. Visualize sleep as a giant and most honest mirror of the universe. It has no ability to create peace from nothing. It only has the ability to amplify what you already have in your soul right at the threshold of the night. If you enter sleep with a heart heavy with resentment, anxiety, or resistance, you are unintentionally forcing the brain to marinate in the poison of stress for 8 hours. Then, sleep is no longer a spiritual medicine, but becomes a place where weariness is nourished more persistently. Kindred friend, etch this revelation as a guide for yourself. Sleep is the most honest reflection of the state of consciousness, the moment it enters the threshold of darkness. Sleep reflects the state of the mind that enters it. This is why Zen masters never underestimate the 3 minutes before sleep. They understand that if they can recalibrate the consciousness back to a state of non-grasping, then their sleep will automatically become a pure sanctuary for recovery. Conversely, if the mind is still fighting, then even lying on silk and brocade, the nervous system will still writhe in the firestorm of survival. In the United States, we are too used to seeking solutions from the outside, a sleeping pill, an expensive mattress, or a type of herbal tea. Those things are not wrong, but they only touch the physical shell. The true power lies in what material you bring into your 8 hours of rest. When you perform the ritual of letting go of the old day, returning to take refuge in the body, and setting down all roles of responsibility, you are silently changing the frequency of consciousness. You are sowing a seed of peace right at the intersection of waking and sleeping. And because sleep is a mirror, it will reflect that very peace, spreading the light of recovery to every blood vessel, every joint, and every neuron throughout the night. Tonight, stop waiting for sleep to heal you passively. Be the one who actively creates the atmosphere for your soul right now. When you step into the darkness with an empty heart and a consciousness that has stopped resisting you, will be amazed to realize that sleep is not just a rest, but a miraculous grace, bringing you back to your most radiant being. Kindred friend, let the shared words sink quietly like golden dust particles slowly falling to the bottom of a still lake in the quiet night. We have gone through a profound journey to discover the secrets at the threshold of dreams, from closing the old day, returning to take refuge in the body, to stepping into the darkness with a mindset of total entrustment. Now, before closing this conversation so you can truly melt into the dream world, I hope you carry one final wisdom. Understand that you have never truly been broken, and healing has never been a fierce battle that you must strain to win. You do not need to use force to compel any cell to recover. Actually, every blood vessel, every neuron of yours inherently carries a great memory of wholeness and an incomparable recovery wisdom from the beginning. Your only task is not to make yourself well, but to courageously stop obstructing that natural process. Do not let the chains of anxiety or the strict supervision of the ego interrupt the recovery symphony of nature. When you step back, life will lead the way. When you are silent, life essence will speak. Etch this sacred affirmation into your soul. Tonight, you do not need to strive to be healed. You only simply need to stop resisting that healing. Tonight, you don't need to try to heal. You only need to stop resisting healing. If this 35-minute journey has helped your heart feel a part of the long-standing burden in a distant land lightened, I invite you to perform a final ritual of establishing sovereignty. Write down the mantra, "I allow my body to be healed." That affirmation will be a safety seal helping your nervous system completely lay down its arms, making room for the miracle of rebirth to operate most brilliantly tonight. Thank you for trusting and accompanying me on the path of awakening. Praying for you a long and peaceful night, a dreamless sleep, and a morning of waking up in boundless joy. Goodbye, and sleep very well.